Welcome back to Joseph James Furniture Outlet Behind the Scenes. This is episode 6 of our weekly vlogs and we've got lots going on this week. We had the new delivery of our van, and we did lots of refurbishment to the upstairs of the showroom, and we also had a special little segment where we did a talk for young entrepreneurs in Altrincham. So let's go check it out.
We're at the warehouse this morning. We're still going through the last week's load that arrived on a big 40-foot trailer.
And we're just running through it all to see what the kind of quality is, because the batch before was a bit of a bad batch. This is a little better, but still there's a few sofas that are going to go straight to the skip, and there's quite a few that need work.
There's still quite a bit to be photographed. We're still trying to identify some pieces that didn't come on the invoice from the retailer, so we're still trying to piece together what they might have meant, and just some things that simply didn't arrive, or some things we've got that just wasn't on the invoice altogether. So it's messy. It's not as straightforward as people would think, because on the retailers on DFS's end, they're loading up a massive truck with loads of random cancelled orders, sample stock returns. So it's very hard for them to get it exactly right. Obviously their workers don't care as much as if it was going to a customer's home as if it's coming to us. It does get a bit messy in terms of the invoicing, which is what we're trying to sort out now.
We're missing a Noah manual 2-seater recliner. Didn't come in.
Noah?
A Noah.
Noah there.
Didn't arrive, not in the order, can't find it, which is a concern. It's not gone to the new showroom because we did the first takeover to that yesterday, stock. It wasn't on there, and it didn't go this morning, so it's not in the order.
I don't see anything that resembles it, so yeah, didn't arrive. Have you got ID carded?
No, not yet.
Oh, that worries me. If you got it red, have you got it red dotted and it's not ID carded?
I'm here to talk to you about it. The Clayton, no, I've not dotted it.
Lovely.
Clayton storage footstool.
Yeah,
is
that
what
could be it, yeah.
Right, thank you.
Don't red dot it.
God.
Well,
Because
how are you going to know
it's
what
only
you've got
that
ID
and that,
card?
that's all I need to do. I'm new to the job, and you know, James and Joe will come in, they know what the sofas are called, they know exactly what sells, what doesn't sell. I mean, some of these sofas that I like, they go straight to the skip. So it's learning what's in fashion, what's not in fashion. It's working out what to spend time on fixing, what's not to spend time on fixing. And then you get lucky, you get some really nice ones that can go straight on the floor and they sell literally straight away.
Jonathan's getting on with photographs. Dayton's doing a few repairs on some of the sofas that come in, which we think can be salvaged. We try not to skip stuff where it doesn't need to be skipped. Where possible, we'll try and do a repair that obviously the average Joe couldn't do, but we've got someone who kind of specialises in it, so he'll be doing the upholstery or rewiring a recliner and stuff. Some are beyond salvage, but a lot of things are potential with the right expertise to be fixed quite easily and reused.
If you don't address the way you're dealing with the cheap stock, it's going to become a problem for you.
I did address with it.
No, when it was on Facebook, was it a big hit?
Yeah, we sold quite a bit. We sold quite a bit of cheap stuff.
So why even bother? If Facebook's the one, why are we even touching Instagram? Why isn't it going straight on Facebook?
I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. One, it gives you an actual list, so you can look on your phone and someone calls up and says this is still available. Instagram gives you what a website does, and you can see what's available. Facebook Marketplace, it's all over the place. You can't see.
No, it's not. You just tag it as sold straight away.
Not when you've got 1,000 items like we do. I think I've got 3,000 listings on Facebook Marketplace. It's not as simple as that, because I post everything, all the brand new stuff on Facebook Marketplace as well. So all that needs to happen is James put this on Gumtree on Facebook Marketplace, and it'll sell. That's
quite a big job.
I used to do it all. I used to do that and the other stuff.
I get it, but you was in America doing it then.
No, I did it the first weeks I was here as well. It's not. Once you get quick at it, like when I put stuff on the website, it takes me about 3 hours to do. But once you get quick at it, you know you become very efficient at it. So it's not that hard. You copy and paste stuff, and it's quicker than you think. But he's got to get used to it a few times. And he's also gave himself a massive pile to do, that's the issue.
So James and Joe have implemented new procedures for us with regards to the warehouse. Different pens for deliveries, for sold items, for skipped items, for cheap stock, and it's working. That being said, when a large delivery comes in, a big load, that's the bread and butter. So everybody is hands-on at that point, and occasionally, just due to the fact that everyone is elsewhere doing something else, these areas can get a little bit neglected, and Joe spots that. Let's not sweat the small stuff.
Well, I want to sweat it. I want to sweat it so bad because, you know...
that is the small stuff.
No, but the small stuff, you know, do you think Amazon let these little... Oh, don't worry about it, you know, this package might get to him.
I understand that. I understand what you're saying, but it's baby steps.
Yeah, I understand, but we are pretty much there. I'm saying this is one last thing.
Slow is the fastest way to your destination. It is, you just got to take your time. I'm with you, I know what you're saying. Yeah. You want it ordered, you don't want things coming out of bays. You want to make sure things don't leave here with labels on. I'm there and I'll get there. Just give it time.
This is open now, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Sorry?
It's a bit open, this, a bit loosey-goosey.
It's a work in progress. Rome wasn't built in a day. We're doing what we can when we can. As long as we get the sofas that are in good condition photographed and to the showroom as quick as possible, then we're doing our job. Everything else eventually will fall into place and we'll get it ticking over nicely. But as it goes at the moment, we're good.
And now I'm going to head over to the showroom because there's still quite a bit going on there. We've just started opening late night, so we've got some new staff members start as well, so had to do a bit of training with them. But yeah, I'm going to head over to the showroom now. We're back at the showroom now and we're still sorting out a few things. It's not quite 100% ready to go condition. We're still doing some works upstairs, which Wesley's doing in terms of there's a few tiling bits to be done before we can start putting sofas up there.
Okay, so following on from last week, we had the hole in the floor and we had the hole in the walls. So to solve the hole in the floor, we've cut up one of the old fencing panels we had down here. So use an angle grinder, nipped out a bit of the steel, and that's gone on there to provide a solid, sturdy base. And then when clearing out downstairs, taking stuff to the skip, loading the van, trying to empty out the loading bay, we found a set of spare tiles. Okay, so we're just doing the final touches up here. We've reused some of the stud walls that we used within the kitchen, and we've put the plasterboard back on the front, and it's really hard to dispose of plasterboard on the skips. Most skips don't take it. So we've tried to reuse the materials where we can. This is more of a health and safety sort of thing, so in case little kids, when walking down here, they're not going to fall through the railing, and keeps it nice, crisp and clean. We're giving the stairs a lick of paint, which is in this deep navy. Final touches now are going to be cleaning up the paint on the wall and making sure the floors are clean and that there's no trip hazards, such as like nails and screws that were left there, and if they need to be grinded out, they will be. And then we should be ready.
This weekend was the busiest weekend since we've moved in. There was one point on Saturday where it was just me and Janice. Joe was on his way over and I sort of looked up and there was about 25 people mulling around the showroom. So that was really good, and we converted a lot of them into orders. So there was soul signs everywhere and there was people everywhere, and it was, for the first time ever, I was glad to see Joe walk through the door. And I was sort of like, Joe, can you start helping these people? It was a really great weekend, went really quickly. Sort of, you got here, it was 9:30. I looked up, it was 2:45. I was like, wow, what a day.
There's some new sales staff starting as well, so we've been able to train them recently. With Gary's first day yesterday, and we're also obviously just started doing the late night shifts, so we've got another late night tonight. So we're now open 10 to 8, Monday through Friday, which obviously if we've had to figure out more staff and rota-wise, that's had an effect, but we're hoping that those people who couldn't have made it in working hours to us will now come after 4 o'clock and come down and see us. We
welcomed a new member to our team yesterday, Gary.
Thank you very much.
Gary's going to be covering the extended opening hours. So from yesterday, we've extended till 8 o'clock.
That's right, yeah.
You did the first late night yesterday. How was it?
Started off quite slow, but gradually we're getting people that are coming in after work, people that want to be coming in the evenings. I see a lot of people that are interested in coming in the week, late evenings. And yeah, I'm experiencing engaging customers.
You've just thrown yourself into it. It's difficult to sort of train somebody to sort of sell sofas. It's just a case of getting out there, which every time right. I've looked up today, you've been talking to customers.
Yeah,
and
that's the main thing.
Feels like you've been here forever. And you're getting more comfortable with the ranges and where we sort of, how we lay out the showroom and which sections we put certain sofas. So.
Yeah. So today, first time I've experienced, we've had new sofas come in. Yeah. And I believe that with my kind of merchandising, I feel I'll be a great asset in setting things up.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
That'll be good because we get the van over most days with new stock.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it's sort of juggling where the sofas are going to go and making sure they go with sofas of a similar vein.
That's right, yeah.
So yeah, that'll come in really handy.
We're also clearing the loading bay through there, which we haven't been able to use recently because we've been dumping basically everything in the loading bay, which just causes problems in the sense that we've been having to unload the van through like the customer entrances. Been a bit of chaos when that's been happening. With the loading bay cleared, we can start moving out sold stock into there, unloading the new stock in there as well, so we've got more space to work with, and not getting the customer's way either. So they're just heading off now. They're just taking some more wood back to the warehouse, which we can reuse to any repairs we need to do, or if any building works we need to do at the warehouse, we can reuse some of that because timber's pretty expensive now. James and I have been invited to speak at an event tomorrow in Altrincham. It's called Young Altrincham's Professionals. I think it's just a gathering of young professionals in Altrincham. Our story is obviously in the local paper, so I think the organisers found us from there and got in touch, and obviously we were happy to come down and help out and do what we can. I think it's more of a Q&A format, so we're not necessarily prepared a speech or anything like that. I don't think that'd be the most enjoyable watch, but Q&A is a bit more friendly, but easier for people to engage with, so I'm looking forward to it tomorrow, 6 p.m. It's like a coffee house, I think. Not necessarily nervous about it, but whether people will be interested in us, I'm not sure, but I guess we'll find out about how many people turn up, but we're just there to help out and give a talk.
This truck arrived approximately 14:30 hours. Initially, it was meant to come tomorrow morning, so we had plans just to go through the showroom, clean up the extra stock we have left, prepare the deliveries for tomorrow to go to the showroom, and just get orders ready.
So this just came in. We only found out like an hour ago, was it?
Yeah,
or 2
literally,
hours ago?
we found out about 1:30 that it was coming before 3. And when we were on our lunch break, it came, so we just had to all run back sort of thing and start chipping in to get everything out.
It normally takes between an hour and a half.
Yeah, usually it's an hour.
Yeah.
There's been times where the driver will wait, like if it comes too late, he'll stay over in the lorry. And the next day in the morning, we'll upload it.
So we're at an event which we've been invited to speak to some people in the local area, some young professionals. I think it's a real networking opportunity for those who are invited. I think the organisers found us with a newspaper article and thought our story was quite interesting, so I think we did a Q&A session for about half an hour. We thought we'd come down, help out, why not? A bit of awareness in the local area. And
also great for the vlog.
Great for the vlog, absolutely. So content.
So the main event tonight, we have Joseph and James from Joseph James Furniture Outlet, both from Altrincham, started their business straight out of school, and you're now 21?
Yeah, correct.
And you had £100,000 turnover month for the first time a few months ago?
Yeah, back in October.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to start a business instead of going to university or getting an apprenticeship?
So it was very different for me and Joe. Joe done really well, but I think you wanted to go over to America, which is eventually what he did do after a gap year. So yeah, I was just not really knowing what to do. I was going to resit my A-levels. A few months into doing that, we started this and not really looked back ever since.
Did you always know that you wanted to set up your own business and become entrepreneurs?
I was always interested in business from a fairly young age, so I did think at some stage I'd start a business. Yeah, I was definitely fairly confident in doing it. I don't know, I guess you've just got to be confident to kind of face any problem that you get and just deal with it. So I've always been interested in like watching Dragon's Den, Shark Tank, things like that. So business was always kind of in my heart and what I wanted to do. But at school I did more like math stuff, and I think when I applied to university.
What did you both study at school?
So we were actually in similar classes, so we both did maths and further maths, and I don't know if I did Spanish.
Yeah, and economics.
Very useful for selling stuff.
Believe it or not, Spanish
Yeah,
isn't
no.
too bad, it's the maths that I have the problem with.
Yeah.
So,
Does maths not come in handy for a business?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
You don't have to do, well, the main calculation you do, like, as most people know, is like VAT. That's where the simple things are divide by 6 and times by 1.2, and you're pretty much there.
So who is your biggest inspiration as an entrepreneur?
I wouldn't necessarily have an inspiration per se. There's like a few people I like in business, like going off the kind of Shark Tank link, quite like Kevin O'Leary, who's on that show and he runs financial services type businesses. But then I like quite a few other people, like I think Ben Francis, who started Gymshark. I was quite impressed with what he did at a fairly young age.
Do you have a defined plan for the future of your business?
Yes, the way that me and Joe, I'm more sort of involved with like the operational side of the business, whereas Joe's sort of forward thinking about where we're going to go for the future and whatnot. So obviously, the current stages at the moment, we need to be opening as many showrooms as possible. The one thing with what we do with the sofas and the furniture is, when you're buying a sofa, really, you want to be sitting on it and trying it out in the comfort. So it just means it's not as easy to sort of sell online as it is with, say, other products. So sort of long term, we do need to be sort of getting showrooms all over the country, give as many people access to the sofas as possible, really, yeah.
Yeah, because you've just opened a showroom in Stratford.
Yeah.
Really near Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any imminent plans to open another one?
We do, so we're hopefully going to be opening up in Stockport as well in about 9 to 12 months. Initially we were sort of operating everything just from one single warehouse, whereas now we've got a big warehouse in Altrincham and the showroom in Stratford, where the business model sort of works better once we have the more showrooms.
Believe it or not, with the furniture business, we do get a fair bit of repeat customers, people who move house fairly frequently or family members who then move house, so it'd be nice to kind of draw back on that reputation we did have in Stockport and go back there. So we have viewed a couple of units recently in Stockport.
Do you find managing a team that's older than you?
Well, we're quite lucky because I've actually got quite a few family members who work for us, or friends. So I've got my auntie, my uncle, my mum helps out, even get my grandma in if she wants to do a bit of sewing. So, we like to keep everyone involved, but it's a lot easier to deal with people, obviously, with the family, even though there can be problems. But you've just got to talk them out.
How are you boss to your grandma?
She usually bosses me around, to be fair, so, yeah.
Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start their own business, especially at a younger age?
I'd say the best thing to do is just get as much advice as possible. So, for example, we're fortunate enough, we've got loads of friends, sort of dads who sort of been very successful. So I make sure whenever I see them or I sort of try and get meetings with them, to sort of ask them as many questions as possible. Even if the things that we think we're doing well, it doesn't mean we can't improve it. So it won't just be the problems that I'll be sort of bringing up. Sort of you've got to cover everything and make sure everything moves forward together.
Yeah, I think it's got kind of a level of confidence as well that even if something completely new, you've just got to say yes and try it. Like, for example, like when we first moved to like Altrincham, we didn't really have the budget to be spending on builders to build walls and stuff like that. So YouTube will solve most of your problems today. So just get a video out and you'll be able to put that wall up pretty simply. And just simple things. I think you should have the confidence like to be able to do your accounting, to be able to do your legals and stuff like that. When you start up, you can't afford other people to do it. So just having that confidence that you'll be able to, whilst you might not know what to do, you'll be able to figure it out with a quick Google or YouTube and bluff it, yeah, the rest of the way.
Tutorial.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
So the new delivery van just arrived today. We're really happy. We've been waiting for it quite a long time, almost 6 months, but it was certainly worth the wait. It's got a really good loading bay at the back, so a nice low sort of step up onto the back so that we are lifting sort of the heavier sofas. It is much easier to get them in there. We're really happy with sort of the branding on the van, so it's just a great free way of advertising really. We've got all the branding on there, all the details of the showroom, contact details, and we let the customers know a little bit about sort of what we do. So yeah, really happy with the van. The way it's going to work now is, so we've got the other van which is purely now just going to be running stock from showroom to showroom, and then we've got this van which will be used only for deliveries. It just means that we can get more done every day and not just the deliveries. So yeah, really happy. Thought I'd just give you a quick tour of the spec that we've gone with and how it's going to work. So let's have a look around. So standard 3 seats in the front. We've only usually ever got a 2-man delivery team, but if we ever do need to run the extra person over, say, to a showroom to get some help there, it just gives us the flexibility to do that as well. So that's with the front, obviously very standard with that. And then all the branding on the side. So we've got all the new showroom details, contact numbers on our website. So really happy with how it's come out. Colour looks great, I think. So yeah, really happy. Obviously mentions all the delivery as well. Quick deliveries to all mainland UK. When we come round the back, here is the loading bay at the back. We're really happy because it's got the low loader here, so it just means when we've got the heavier sofas, it's just much easier to be putting them in the van. It's 2.5 metres high, which is great because before we've had the problem where we've not been able to stand up 4-seaters. It just meant that whenever we had a 4-seater going out for delivery or coming with stock, we wouldn't be able to put as much in the van essentially. Only little things, obviously you've got these boxes that cover the wheels, but there's nothing you can do about that unless you had a much higher frame at the back. It's 4.5 metres long, so I'm expecting to get somewhere between 25 to 30 seats in here in total, but we're probably not really going to know until we do that first load, so we'll have to see how that works. So in terms of the financials for this van, it's going to cost us about 45 grand. It was a little bit more due to the fact we had to get all the branding, but it was something that we really, really needed. We get to pay that over 5 years, so it's not just sort of a big balloon payment that we're going to lose straight away. 20 reg, so we shouldn't really be having any problems with the van for a good few years, and it's really, really hard to actually get Luton vans at the moment. A lot of people wanting them and really not that many around. So yeah, that's the van. So that's all for this week. We hope you guys have enjoyed the vlog, and we'll be back next week again as usual. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment and share our video. Can't wait to see you on the next episode.